So welcome to Conversations with Neighbours. I'm sitting here today with Sarah and Emily from A Bradford Christmas. They have started this charity when you were in your teens. It is an official registered charity, which is pretty impressive. So you girls are here in your matching shirts. No one can see it, but they're wearing matching Converse as well. They're more on brand than the neighbor team. So tell us how it all started.
So we started our charity, A Bradford Christmas, when we were 14 and 15 years old. And yes, so I, I guess a few years before that, I started my own business. I was 12 and I really wanted to work and make money. And so I told my parents, I was like, I want to make a business or something. Like I want to do something. I want to build something. They're like, okay.
Because, who at 12 wants to work?
Who has the entrepreneurial spirit at 12?
Yeah. Who at 12 is like, I really desperately want a job.
I was like, I want to have my own bank account. I want to make my money. I'm building equity. I was at a really young age. It's like, this is what happens when you read finance books at a young age. You're like, I'm making a business today. But that's what happened. I wanted to make a business. So I ended up making one. And it was a concession stand and I sold snacks and candies and goodies. I had a contract with our local town and I had an exclusive contract to be the snack vendor at all of our town events. So we had concerts and movies and whatnot. And I loved it and it was amazing. And then through that, I met so many people throughout the community. I work with local charities and I donated percentages of my earnings to the local charities. And then at the same time, Sarah also wanted to keep busy.
Yeah.
So what did you do?
I volunteered all throughout Bradford. I was a T-ball coach. I volunteered at the library with little kids, town events. I was assistant dance teacher too. I'm trying to remember other things I've done. What else did I do?
It was everywhere. By the end, I think by grade 11, you weren't even finished high school yet. She had over 1,000 volunteer hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
So forget about the 40 that's mandatory. I just kept going. I had it like a job. It was so great. I loved it. And all my supervisors and everything, I was so close with them. And yeah, I loved it so much. And I learned so much too. And it's funny, you would see the same people all throughout all of the things I volunteer. And they'd be like, do you sleep? Do you sleep? And I'm like, I eat, sleep, and volunteer. That's all I do. And I loved it. And everything was different. So for coaching, it was more leadership stuff. And then for other things, I'd be following people, what they were doing. And kids are cute.
You're getting a very well-rounded experience.
Yes, at a very young age.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
So how did that lead to A Bradford Christmas?
Yes.
So in 2019, we were both doing this for a few years now, and we loved being in the community. That was the center of everything, was being in the community and meeting wonderful people. And we both loved doing it. So in 2019, we kind of sat down and Sarah and I were like, okay, what if we do something together? But what if we do something more? What if we combine Emily's love for building something, being an entrepreneur of something, starting something, and then Sarah's love for volunteering, for spending time with people, right? What if we combined that and made our own charity? And of course, at the time, we had no idea what a charity actually
no idea
fully did or what was involved in that. But we're like, let's just do it. Let's make something. And that's kind of how we started. Through my concession stand, I had contacts with the food bank because I donated a percentage of that to the food bank. And so I reached out to them and I said, we're starting our own nonprofit and we really want to give back and we love the food bank. Can we support you guys this year? And then that it all just happened, really. It happened in summer of 2019.
And sorry to interrupt, but
yeah.
Emily, she doesn't really talk about this, but she actually won an award from the town of Bradford. She was Junior Citizen of the Year 2019. And that's how we kind of wanted to start the charity, because we wanted to give back more, because, you can't just stop once you get an award. You got to keep going.
No, now you're on.
Yeah, because everybody's like, to our parents, they don't have to clean their rooms anymore. You won an award. And my mom's like, no, that's not how that works. But yeah, we wanted to continue on and give back even in a bigger way and to grow that impact. And and that's how kind of A Bradford Christmas flourished. Emily made the logo. It didn't look like this at first. It was made on Microsoft Paint.
Yeah, it was rough.
Really janky. It did not look good.
Yeah.
And I came up with a name because Bradford, and then it was Christmas time, kind of we were wanting to do it.
Yeah.
And so we met with the food bank and go ahead.
We met with the food bank, and then our first year in 2019, our first year we wanted, so they had a Christmas hamper program, which is like your regular like turkey, stuffing, vegetables. And so we wanted to do something in addition to that. So we created something called Festive Hampers, and it was like a special little hamper we added on top of that, which had 17 non-perishable items in them. And so we had a list from the food bank of like wish list items. And most people think of wish list items like, oh, like delicacies for other people, like, like, oh, special chocolates or certain candies or whichever. For their food bank, it was ketchup and pickles and chips and jam. And there are certain things because those are the most expensive things to get in a grocery store. And it was a lot of people had big families. So we ended up reaching out to over a dozen corporate companies, Costco and Nestle and Pepsi. And I would say, I think all of them, except for one couldn't because it was past their donation time. All of them donated. Like we got everything donated. We had a skid of
pickles show up to our house.
No.
Yes.
A whole skid of pickles.
For reference, this is like a suburban Bradford like street with like, we have like a 1,000 square foot house. Like it was like a 2-car driveway. Luckily, like our parents were working because they weren't home, but so there was no cars in the driveway. But we went outside because we got an email. It's like, oh, it's been delivered, and we're like, where was it delivered to? And then because our address was on our letter, and then we went outside and it was just a skid of like 200 jars of pickles. And our first thought was, how are we gonna move this out of our driveway?
How's it going? So our basement kind of turned into a little mini grocery store for a little bit, and then until we found a place. But yeah, that was pretty cool. That was our first year.
That was amazing. And then, so we had all the items, and then we reached out to our local council and some local like kids and everything in our area to help us pack them. And the town gave us space in one of their community buildings that were only used during summertime, so it was left for the winter. So they gave us space of this community center, and we spent, I think it was like an entire Saturday or Sunday afternoon, and we all packed. I think it was like 10 of us maybe. And or 12 of us, I think, and we packed 167 festive hampers in like one afternoon, and then our mom fed us afterwards because mom's like, if you're working, you have to eat. Everyone has to eat, and my mom doesn't let anyone not eat whenever they come to our house. So, but yes, and that was the first fundraiser that started it, and then we handed out the festive hampers in December, a few weeks before Christmas.
We did, and I remember we talked about it afterwards because how old were we?
14, 15.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Or I just turned 16 at that point. I just turned 16. So I wasn't even driving yet. And I remember like we were driving home, like our parents were driving us home. And we're like, we want to keep doing this. Like we got to hand out everything to the clients themselves. And we got to see the impact. We got to see, those faces because they didn't know they were getting it. They didn't know what it was going to be like. It was like 17 non-perishable items, which included pet treats too. Which that was kind of cool. They've never had that before. So we got to find out a bunch of different pets too that we've never heard, like a bearded dragon. Never knew that. But yeah, so that was kind of like one of the key moments, I would say, for Bradford Christmas and for us specifically, is the why we want to do it and why we keep doing it. Is just seeing the impact that we do and all the work and all the blood, sweat, and tears, and it all pays off. And we get to see it for ourselves.
And the community. People were like together, right?
Absolutely. And they just keep helping. They keep showing up. That's for sure. Every year.
So that was year one. That was
2019.
So it evolved from there because I'm also from Bradford. And I remember the first year that I remember a Bradford Christmas was you were doing a toonie drive. So explain to me like the evolution and how you decide every year who you're supporting, what that looks like.
So we, as a registered charity, we do have a full board of directors, which are wonderful. And so with our board of directors, throughout, usually whenever we're fundraising, we never stop meeting new charities. Like even this year, we met so many amazing new charities. So we always have a Rolodex, so to speak, of like local charities. And there's no geographic limitations either. It can be in Bradford or Barrie or Newmarket or anywhere really in Ontario right now. So we always have a Rolodex of new charities. And in the beginning of the new year, so for example, in January 2025, we sat down with our board and we laid out all these charities that we met with, everything about them. We do have an investigator on our board, and they look into every charity that we fundraise for. So we only fundraise for registered charities. Because of that, a lot of things are public, right? So like different financial records and whatnot. So our goal with our charity is that we want to highlight maybe lesser known charities. Not like they're unknown, but maybe charities that you told
More grassroots.
more grassroots organizations. So that's what we really want to do, is highlight those grassroots organizations. But another thing we want to do is really make sure that the charities that we are fundraising for, we look into them. There's always investigation into them, making sure that everything's above board, everything looks good. So because we always want to keep honesty and integrity within A Bradford Christmas, so that when we're telling you these charities, these are great organizations, we can back that up, and we have the facts to back that up.
Yeah.
So that's what we did in January of this year. We said, okay, these are all of our charities. This is what we found. This is kind of the end result of looking into them. And then from there, our board of directors, we ended up selecting 2 this year. We've usually done 1 charity per year in the past, but we decided to expand a bit more this year. We're always expanding every year. And this year we decided to fundraise for 2 charities, one in Simcoe County wide, and then one in York Region wide.
And they are?
The Simcoe County charity is called Glowing Hearts Charity, and it is a children and youth-based charity, and they focus on empowering youth and education. And then Margaret Bain Hospice, which is a hospice located in Newmarket, and it's a private 10-bed suite hospice that focuses on more holistic care for their patients and their families.
So what does it look like now that you have your 2 charities selected? We're about halfway through the year. How have your fundraising efforts evolved, and what are you doing right now?
It's always slower in the summer, for sure. And because everybody's doing their thing and all that stuff. So this is the time where we finalize and plan for everything for the end of the year, or like the last quarter, I would say. So like all of our fundraisers are next month now. Yep. And we're just collecting donations and getting more sponsorship and finalizing the events, I would say.
And is it all just events? So I know 2 of them. And will you do, like, I remember last year you guys did like a online silent auction. Like, will you do stuff like that? And then in end of year, you're doing like final collections and splitting the proceeds between the 2 charities?
Yes. So every year kind of look different depending on, what happens or what our plans are. So for this year, we did, at the beginning of the year, we chose our charities, and then throughout those months, I would say from like February to May, I guess, that's when we had all of our meetings. That's when we met with local businesses and with the charities. We kind of planned out the rest of our year. That's kind of what those months really look like. And then in the summertime, like Sarah said, now as we're finalizing sponsorships and tickets and everything for events happening in September. And then, so the rest of the year, it will be events. And for the silent auction, we have done a silent auction, I think, every year since we kind of started, ever since 2020. Yeah. We've done one. And then this year, we're not actually doing one. So it's a bit different, but we are trying to incorporate maybe like a silent auction or something into our events, like more of an in-person silent auction. Because people love to find like little goodies and stuff. But we're kind of shifting it more from like online to in-person.
Makes sense. And you started your charity in the middle of the pandemic. So
yes,
online fundraising is crucial at that point.
It was. And it's interesting how the world changes, and then how like you as a business owner, or charity's like a business as well, right? How you have to change and adapt and pivot with that as well. And how like certain things will work and when you're in a pandemic stuck at home, but not necessarily now when everybody wants to get out of the house, and blow the sink off them, right? So yeah.
And let's talk about those 2 events. What are they this year that are coming up?
So our first event, this is an annual event for us now. It's called Bowling Palooza.
It's a hoot. It is a hoot. It's
we love it. And that's like very biased, but also unbiased. Like something that someone told us, and this is so true, it's plan the events that you yourself would want to be a guest at. And this is an event that we would both be a guest at. Like last year we were standing watching everybody. We're like, oh, I would want to grab bowling shoes right now. Like
it's just so funny. When we were like at the event, and of course, we're managing staff running around with our heads cut off like chickens. Everybody was coming up to us being like, are you guys going to bowl? Are you guys going to bowl? We want to see you guys bowl. And we're like, no, this is our fundraiser. You guys have the time. But I don't know, maybe we might do a dare or something.
I have a suggestion. Challenge. You should do, at the very end, you should have like a little like bowl off between the 2 of you, and whoever you can kind of like tie like a donation amount to it or something like that.
That actually sounds so much fun, and I'm so competitive. So competitive. I will do.
She's a sore loser and a winner.
Sarah, that is not what this is about.
Yeah, it's so bad. We'll be playing Monopoly, and she will flip that board over. No problem. She likes to save her money, but the whole game of Monopoly is to spend all of it.
I know, I'm so bad at spending money, so that's why I lose Monopoly. Monopoly like every single time.
Yeah, it's like it's such a great event. It's so much fun, and it was highly requested. Like I remember we were talking to our sponsors a couple weeks afterwards and just getting their opinions and everything on everything. They're like, "When's your next one? We want to come. We want to sponsor. Let's do this." We're like, "Awesome!" So we booked it and everything. It's September 19th, Friday, 6:30 to 9.
Yes, and what it is a bowling tournament. Is what we call it. So there's so it's a bowling tournament, and it's for all ages, can come out. We've had kids there, we've had adults there, we've had bowling leagues come and bowl. We've had people who've never bowled in their lives, and it's
Team
shown.
building too.
Comes. Yes, so we've had families come, we've had like a group of friends come, which those are always fun. And then we've also had a lot of companies come. So it's like similar to a golf tournament, and you buy like a foursome for a company. That's what also Bowling Palooza provides. So we had a lot of companies. It's a Friday night. So we had some companies come out with a team of 6. Other employees, they come out, they bowl, they have fun, they grab like fries or whatever because there's a restaurant there. And it's a great opportunity for team building. It's a huge opportunity for any business. And also just if you want to like to go and have a really fun time with friends or family, it's really good.
Yeah. It's at Bolorama Berry. I don't know if we mentioned that or not yet.
Yes. But,
and it's a massive bowling alley.
Huge.
There's 32 lanes. It's almost sold out now because it was so popular last year. So if people want to
almost sold
jump
out.
on it.
Keyword almost. We definitely still do have lanes left.
Yeah, but definitely jump on it soon.
For sure.
Okay, and the second event.
Yes.
The second event is called Bingo, Burgers, and Beer, and it's going to be a bingo night hosted at Market Brewing Company in Newmarket. So we're trying to do one event kind of everywhere. We have one event in Barrie, one event in Newmarket. And so this event in Newmarket, Market Brewing, they're incredible community supporters.
Absolutely amazing company. Mr. Bill is so amazing.
They've supported us since 2020. They've always donated to silent auctions. Or
that's actually a funny story, too.
Yeah, it's a funny story. But they've always donated.
Let's come back to that. Hang on.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to come back to that one.
Yeah.
But they've always donated to our silent auctions or any fundraisers that they've done. So this year we're like, let's do something like a game night. And then we were thinking, it's like, people like bingo. So we ended up going to one of Market Brewing's bingo nights. And we're like, wait a minute, this is like actually really fun. This isn't something that like my grandma does. This is something that like, this is like 100 people here and they play music and they're having like, this is so much fun. And so we went a couple weeks and we went like for a few months actually. And every Thursday, and it was so much fun. We're like, this is something that we could do. This could be a fundraiser. So we reached out to Bill from Market Brewing and we're like, can we make this a fundraiser somehow? And he's like, sure. So we've planned it with him. And then this September 24th, it's a Wednesday night, we are hosting Bingos, Burgers, and Beer. So it's going to be it's from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So it will be a few hours of bingo for sure. But within that, we are going to have, it's a brewery. So it's going to be some beer. There's going to be some good drinks for sure. Food. And with the food part, we're actually working in tandem with Brimstone Barbecue, a local barbecue caterer, and they are incredible. And they are providing the food for the night, which are burgers. That brings the burger element into it. So on our website for ticketing, you can either buy just a bingo ticket, and that's just to play bingo, or you can buy a bingo and burger ticket, which is like an all-inclusive ticket for a bingo and a burger. And it's going to be a really, really fun night. We can host quite a few people there, and tickets are already going for that one as well right now. And that is more central to Newmarket, so we're really hoping that we can fill the space for that as well.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Let's go back to the beginning. What was your very first Christmas like when you launched A Bradford Christmas?
Well, the very first Christmas was when we did the hampers. I would say that was our first Christmas. I think the hampers, we gave them out, wasn't it a couple weeks before Christmas?
Yes, I believe so. It was the 15th or 16th.
I think so. It was a few weeks before Christmas. Or maybe that's just like 1 week before Christmas.
Yeah, like 10 days.
Yes, this is what happens when you're out of like high school. I can't do math now. If my teacher's watching this, yes, I can, and you did a great job. So that was our first Christmas with the Bradford Christmas, was doing those hampers. So it was really busy leading up to it, but then that was, like Sarah said, that was like the night where we were I remember we didn't go home. We were like 14, 15, like we were young at that time. You're in bed by like 10. I don't think we got home until like 1 o'clock. And then so we were exhausted and we weren't thinking about anything at all. But the one thing that we were thinking about on like the drive home was like, oh my goodness, like that was amazing. Did you see that? Like all those people, and I think they liked it. Do you think they liked it? I think they liked it. I really think they liked it. And it was kind of like that conversation. Then the next morning when we, woke up eventually, we were like, I think that went well. Right?
It felt like a dream, honestly.
It did, because we were almost kind of like, it does feel like every year when we wrap up a fundraiser, it does kind of feel like, okay, well, we got to go and check on this and that. And then we're like, oh, wait, it's done right now. So that's kind of what it felt like, I think, the first year. But it was different, I would say. Like Sarah said, that was like the first year we knew we wanted to do it. But it was that like innocence conversation of like, do you think they liked it? Like, I think they're going to like it. Like, did you see that person when we showed them the pet treats for their bearded dragon? And it was like, yeah, I think they liked it. So it was kind of that moment of like, I think we should do this again. Should we do this next year? And it's like, yeah, let's do it next year.
Like, as a family, we always do family debriefs. So after like working or volunteering or whatever. So at the end of I remember that day, I think it was, or the next morning, we did a whole debrief on it and things we would change, do differently, or things that were good about it and stuff like that. And I remember we were just like, this is the true meaning of Christmas, is giving back, right? It's not about the presents. It's not about, Santa Claus and all that stuff and all the glitz and glamour of it all. It's giving back to the community. It's giving back to everybody else. It's that family time. It's that catching up with your neighbor that you haven't seen for a while. It's those important moments that, you can take for granted, right?
Totally.
So that's kind of like with A Bradford Christmas, it's like why our kind of mission and our slogan, even though we don't just do fundraising and Christmas anymore necessarily, we're giving like it's Christmas all year round. We're giving that Christmas spirit, that giving back, and continuing that for however long.
And that's what people like ask us, which is a really good question. We understand that. It's like, why is it Christmas? You fundraise all the time. And yes, we do. When we first started, like Sarah said, it was just for Christmas the first couple of years. And then from that on, we were like, we kind of thought before we register, we're like, should we change it before we register it? Because like, we're not going to be fundraising during just Christmas anymore. And we kind of both agreed, but like, well, no, actually, like because the meaning for Christmas changed for us in that moment on that day. Yeah. Like Sarah said, it wasn't a date. It wasn't December 25th. It wasn't, the trees or the lights, which, obviously we love those too. But it was the feeling. It turned into something else. It turned into a feeling, right? It turned into a feeling of community. It turned into a feeling of just giving. I mean, it was just Christmas.
Even just like gratefulness.
So grateful, and it was personal gratefulness. Like it was grateful whenever we received like a letter from like a company saying, yeah, we'll donate to you. Or when all those people showed up to pack the hampers and we just sent out an email and they showed up. Like it was just us being so incredibly grateful and then surrounded by so much community. That's what Christmas means to us. And that's why we still like to, Sarah said, we still like to spread Christmas cheer and giving like us Christmas all year long still to this day.
I love that. That's a great explanation. It just wraps it all up.
Thank you.
I was going to ask how you both became so community oriented at such a young age, but I think we kind of covered that. But maybe the better question is like, what was like the first spark of it? Like for me, I'm like, was it like your parents? Did you have certain things you did as like younger children that kind of like sparked that community involvement piece?
So not a lot of people know this story, like the public, but when we were, what was it? I think we were 7 and 9 years old. Bradford had a giant tiger. If you remember.
I remember.
There was a giant tiger. Everybody loved it. And it was closing down. And we went to our food bank and we wanted to help out.
We wanted to figure out something
to do.
Yeah,
something to partnership.
Yeah, something because we were like, okay, this is so crazy. I haven't talked about the story in so long.
Yeah.
It's wild.
This is really like the start of it, honestly.
Sarah has the best memory of anyone.
I have a weird memory. Like
she'll remember these stories and like she's probably gonna be able to tell it much better than I will. But yes, I was 7, you were 9.
Yeah. And
it was like, we love the giant tiger, right? Giant tiger, for a small time, like Bradford was much smaller back then. These kind of businesses were like, everyone just went to it. Like it was one of those places everyone went to, but they were closing down. And of course, they didn't know anything about anything. So we're like to our parents, like, we don't want giant tiger to close down. Like, what if we do something? And I have no idea how they came up with this idea. Do you?
No idea.
No idea. Like all these years later, I could
like
not
the
tell.
link between like us doing the food baskets and then do not remember how that connection happened. But we basically, the whole thing was like you would go to Giant Tiger on, I think it was on a Saturday or something, and you would buy like a certain list of items and then you would give it to us at this table with these 2 children and we would give it to the food bank. And you would think, oh, that's like cute, but it was packed. So the place was full.
And again, like it's such, we remember the big parts, but we have no idea. Like, I remember I
do not remember the beginning.
Sarah and I, my mom had a contact with the food bank. Sarah and I went into the food bank. We met with the president of the food bank at the time.
Yeah.
And we said, like, we had a giant tiger. We don't want it to close. We were thinking, what if we do this idea? And then we just proposed the idea to her. And this is a small town again. We just walked into the food bank. And then anyway, so we told her about it. And so our idea was, like Sarah said, on a Saturday, we had a table set up right at the front door, giant tiger. And we had a list. And we said, okay, well, you buy one of these, this is the food bank's wish list items. So you buy one of these items, you can just go to the cash, pay, and then give us the items, we'll give it to the food bank. So that way the food bank was getting food and Giant Tiger was getting payment from the food that they bought. So when someone was buying something, they were buying their groceries, but then they were also buying more items. So Giant Tiger was getting more revenue for that day. And so that's what we did. And I guess we obviously worked with our parents on it. Yeah. And then my mom emailed like the mayor and council and everything at the time. So they ended up showing up. And like I said, it's in bits and pieces, but I just remember standing there at the door. And like Sarah said, there were so many people that came. People were just coming in droves. And so much so, we had like a Rubbermaid bin, I think, originally. To start with, we had like a Rubbermaid bin for food. Yeah. And we're like, okay, we'll put the food in here. And I remember that. And I remember our dad is like our roadie. He's like, handles all like the big, strong stuff. And still to this day. So he was like, we're going to need more bins. Our mom's name's Sandra. Sandra, we're going to need more bins. And she's like, we don't have any more bins. These are all the bins we have. And I just remember hearing it in the background. I'm like, well, fine, bins. Like, it's fine.
We're a Giant Tiger.
Yeah. And then, so somehow the manager, or I think the manager at the time of Giant Tiger, we ended up using, there was so much food. We had to use crates.
Milk crates.
Of food.
How many milk crates? At the end of the day, how many milk crates was there? I think it was like a couple hundred.
Wow.
Yeah. A couple hundred milk crates. And then plus the manager of Giant Tiger gave us $750 worth of gift cards for us to give to the food bank.
Wow. You guys needed a transport truck and not like the family car.
It was so many.
And
I think they ended up getting a truck and like taking it over there, but
luckily, because our
it was
like
a couple hundred milk crates, wasn't it?
Passat was not about to go drive that.
We didn't even have that. We had the van then.
We had a minivan that didn't have any power steering, so that was not about to drive that either.
Was not going to work.
But yeah, I forgot about the van. But yes, that was like our first fundraiser. That was
our whole thing. But honestly, like our parents are very like old school. Like you give back to your community, you do good work, you work hard. And all that stuff. Like, that's the way that we were always raised and giving back. And they've always done that in a sort of way. And, they've kind of influenced on us about that. And even with the charity still, they're our biggest supporters. When we're having our bad days or good days, they're our first call, they're our first everything. Because, we couldn't drive for the first little bit. So they were our roadie, they were our chauffeurs. Now it's the other way around. Now we follow them around and now we drive them around or drive them a little bit crazy. But yeah, like that was kind of like our first thing.
Accidentally. That was like our first fundraiser. And that was our first
That's not
fundraiser.
really known.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I've ever shared that before.
No, I don't think so.
But that was our first fundraiser. And that's when like we started to get to know more people. So that's like when we knew the mayor and we knew the council for a long time because of that. We started to know local businesses because of that. Again, it wasn't on purpose, but that's what we started to do. And we just loved it. And then that was like a few years went by. We, obviously growing up, we were little kids. And then I don't know, from this idea when we started, hey, what if we do a charity? I think everything when you look at like, where did that even come from? At the time, I didn't think about the Giant Tiger fundraiser. I didn't think about anything. I was just like, oh, this is something I want to do. But when you look back, I think everything has like something that it came from, something that like, oh, sorry, thank you. Everything started from something, and that was like our start. That's what I think it kind of started from, was that one day. That was the first day we had that feeling.
That's really cool. The seed was planted.
That's when the seed was definitely planted for sure.
Yeah, at 7, 9 years old.
That's so crazy and really cool.
And how many years later?
It was. And I remember, again, I was just 7. And I didn't remember it like this, but apparently this happened. I had like the chutzpah of like a car salesman. Like the actual.
When you're younger, you don't have that word no in your head. There's no fear, right? You're just like, oh yeah, they're totally gonna say yes. She was also cute too.
It's like, why wouldn't they say yes? And so
to this face,
again, I didn't know at the time, but he was like the mayor at the time, like came and I think he bought a I think he bought like a can of something. I don't know. He bought something and I was like, oh, this is great. So we have actually a whole list here. So if you could buy, like, we look at our bin isn't filled yet. So, and this was at the beginning and I was like, so we have a whole list here. So you can pick anything else on this list because we want to really fill the bin. And I think that you can do it. And the more you buy too, it helps Giant Tiger. And I apparently was just selling him. And then my mom, because she was like, at the time, she did not know of my salesman abilities yet. And she was like, sorry, Mayor, like she doesn't. And he goes, oh, she's fine. And then he went and he bought
He bought more.
It worked. So, hey guys, shoot your shot. It worked, right? Like we got that bin filled. But that was like our first seed that was planted for Sarah and I. And, but I think in general, I think like Sarah said, it comes from where you come from. Like it comes from our parents and our family. Our parents, like Sarah said, they're very old school. Our mom was very like, if someone needs food, invite them over. If someone asks for a cup of sugar, you give them, you know what I mean? Like she's always been very big into neighborhood, into community. And my dad's from a small village in Nova Scotia. So his whole world was like that, like 200 people in that village.
Like our mom will like talk to a random stranger by accident, bonding over something at Costco. And you're finding her and you'll find her. And then you're there for another 2 hours because she's just talking about random things. Or you're outside when you're watering the gardens. Yeah. Same thing. Yeah.
It is. And it is still the same. So that's Sarah and I, we always had like a really strong foundation of community and respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what everything was really built off of.
Yep. And it continues to go.
I love that. Let's talk about challenges. So what's one of the biggest challenges you faced so far as a grassroots charity?
I would say a couple.
I would say the biggest challenge, though, maybe was our age at the time. Like, I think for like the first couple of years, it was like, oh, they're cute. Like, look, this little thing they're doing. And that's what they wanted to give. And that was fantastic because that worked when you're 14 and like, or 7. But now, like when we got a bit older and we were like, 18, 19, now we're 20, that doesn't work anymore. Like you're too old to be like, oh, look at these cute girls doing something. And you're too young to be taken seriously sometimes. So sometimes the age thing can be a little tricky because people might not take you seriously. Like when we say we're a charity, people think, okay, yeah, but that's cool. But they don't, like we're a charity, like we're fully registered charity.
They don't fully grasp the whole concept.
That we have
think, like
a legal team and
or like our parents run it. Yeah. Or we're working for A Bradford Christmas. And we're like, no, like we've been running this ourselves for 6 years. We're 20. Yeah, you're 20. 20 and I'll be 22 in a few months. So.
And the thing is like, we get it. Like,
yeah, we totally get it.
We wouldn't believe it either. If someone said that, like, oh, we were 14 and 15. It's like, okay, yeah, you started your lemonade stand when you were 14 and 15. That's fine. That's not a charity. Like, we get it too. We totally get it. Outside looking in, it's like, we wouldn't believe it either. But I guess that was maybe the hardest thing was like the age thing to overcome. But I think you can look at that and think like, oh, no one takes me seriously because of my age. Like, oh, that sucks. I guess we won't do it then. I guess we just won't do it. No one takes us seriously. But so instead of saying like, oh, we're too young, like it's never going to work, we said like, we're young, but we know a lot. Like we're young, but we're going to learn so much. We're going to like advance, right? Like we're 16, 17, 18, but we're going to learn and we're going to teach ourselves and we're going to meet so many people that are going to teach us more. And then we're going to just become better. So we use that, I think, to become, I don't know how to say better, but like to become more professional.
More professional, more well-rounded. And we're still learning, right?
Yeah.
If you ain't learning, you ain't living. I think that's some sort of song out there. And that's a big phrase, but it's like the amount of lessons that we've learned, and thankfully, like whether they're good or bad, we like learn them at home with our parents. And I'm forever grateful for both sides of it, the good, bad, and the ugly. And I wouldn't change a thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
I love that. And like, honestly, to me, you come across like very professional for 2 young women.
Thank
you look a little bit like if you told me you were in your teens still, I would believe it. But I love that you address everyone that you come across as like Miss or Mr. I think that's such like a nice touch. It's so respectful. It's so sweet. And like, I love it. Like I cherish that.
Oh, thank you so much.
So when you're like, hey, Miss Tricia, I'm like, oh, thanks, girls. Like, that's so nice to hear. So I think even like those touches too, right? Like, not that it necessarily makes people take you more seriously, but they look at you a little bit more like professionally and
Thank you. And that comes down to the respect factor. Honestly, that was something that even when we were little, because the way our parents grew up, it was always Mr. last name. But when we were little, we couldn't pronounce everyone's last names because we grew up, like our whole community where we grew up is the old side of Bradford. So it's like all Italian Portuguese. And I couldn't pronounce Alfonso El Marindo El Paza. Like I couldn't pronounce that. So it was Mr. Joe. Like that's what it was, right? So that's how we started it when we were little. And then my mom always thought when we got older, we'd use last names or whichever, but it kind of it caught on and we just always said Mr. or Mrs. And then even now we say it to for like, adults. And, but yeah, it just all comes down to the respect thing for us.
Yeah. Big thing. I remember one of our moms, like, our mom has a Rolodex of catchphrases, like so many. There's things I will say at work and they're like, what did you just say? And I'm like, oh, don't worry about it.
Is one of them, it's a who, because.
Yeah, exactly. And like she had a thing like you don't have to be liked, but as long as you're respected, that's always valued more, right? Because like you don't have to like somebody, but if you respect them, that's great. And same thing, vice versa, with somebody with yourself, right? So I would like respect is a big, big thing, especially in our family. Yeah.
That's really cool. Right before we came here, we were out doing our team photo and we went to this new park. They've posted a little bit about it. It's like an accessible trail system in Newmarket. So as you walk in there, there's this big like kind of like overpass type thing and it says respect on the top. So it's like word of the day today.
Yes,
really
it
cool
is.
that we're talking about it so much.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Right? Okay, let's talk about, so on the flip side of challenges, what's been your proudest moment so far?
I feel like one of the coolest moments, besides like our first fundraiser, in 2020, we were, the deputy mayor, now the mayor of Bradford, called up our house and said like, hey, can the girls like fundraise for the whole Christmas hamper program this year? It was in 2020. I think it was in April he called the house. Yeah. And he talked to my mom because she answers the phone. And she's like, sure, what was the estimated value? Like, how much was it?
I think they're saying it's going to be around like 35,000.
Yeah, 35,000. So later on, it ended up changing to 50. So of course, as we go as a family, we talk about everything and we, we're like, yeah, we'll fundraise for it. And the biggest moment of that so far, I would say, we raised $50K in 4 months. But the day before we had the check presentation was December 17th. See my memory. December 17th.
That's wild.
December 17th. I remember that. And the day before, we were $18,000 short. $18,000 short. So we put it out on social media because that's one of the great reasons about social media is that you can put something out there and it will go everywhere. And we put it out there and we ended up like surpassing that within 24 hours.
That's insane.
Yeah, that was a big moment. And when we unveiled that check, a lot of people thought we knew the number. We did not know that number. When we unveiled that to everybody, I think it was a bunch of supporters and sponsors we had in that parking lot. Yep. We did not know that number. So that expression was real. We did not know. And we were still receiving donations after that check presentation. It ended up being almost 52.
I think so.
Thousand. And the craziest thing is that in that 24 hours, we had e-transfer. But we weren't that techie or smart enough to think, oh, auto deposit would be a great idea. We didn't do auto deposit. So I had to manually accept all of them. So it would ding off of my mom's phone whenever we would get an email e-transfer thing. And my mom's like, what is that noise? I'm like, it's money, Mom. It's good. It's coming in the bank. It's not going out. So I would say that's one of the biggest moments, I would say.
Oh, for sure. Because like Sarah said, we were asked in April. And then for those next few months, it was like, okay, we were kind of planning what to do for it. And then it really started in September because we were kind of finalizing the numbers or meeting with the food bank and whichever. And then it really started in September. That's when it actually started. And it's that's why Sarah said it was 4 months. It wasn't 8 months. So it was September, October, November, December, and only a little bit of December.
Yeah,
and
half of December.
That's what it was. It was incredible. That.
So crazy.
Sarah's so right though. The best moment was the night before. I don't think it was the night before. It was
we counted the night before.
It was the night before, and we were still short. We still weren't even at 50 yet. And so we said our mom, and we're like, okay, we don't want to know. We don't want to know. let's keep it as a surprise. And it's like, oh, she's like, okay. So it was my mom and our aunt, and they're the ones that end up doing the final calculations of it. But we're like, let's keep it a surprise. At that time, can't remember what we were at. We weren't 50. We went to bed. We woke up the next day. Like Sarah said, she was accepting e-transfers and everything. Still the next day, we still didn't know the total. So that afternoon, Sarah and I.
10 a.m.
It was
10 or 11 a.m.
Sarah and I drove to the check presentation, and the check presentation happened in the parking lot of our old arena. So it was just the parking lot was all people's cars and the people that were there for this. There was dozens of people there. It was incredible. And it was all outside, and the fire truck was there. Police was there. One of our sponsors is an aggregates company, Rice Group. And so they brought one of their trucks in there. So our backdrop is like this huge like aggregate truck. It was so cool. But yes, so we were there. We arrived. Our mom literally did the final calculations that morning. She double checked it 15 minutes before the check presentation on the back of our car. Everyone was like, my dad and my aunt were like around her. Was like, no, because people kept wanting to ask her how much it was raised. Like, don't even think about it. So they were like security, and she did it, and she's like, I got it. I'm sure. She's like, you sure? And she's like, I'm sure. And then she wrote it on the check. And then when we revealed the check, that, like Sarah said, that is 100% pure. That was our actual reactions as soon as we saw that first 5.
Yeah, I remember just before we like ripped the paper off, I remember looking up and all you see are cell phones and cameras everywhere. Because people all, like there's so many different videos I would see on Facebook after that for a few weeks of everybody's just different point of views and everything like that. But that was even those 4 months, we met some of the best people in our life. Mm-hmm. Like one of our mentors, Salim Bardai, who owned Freshie in Bradford and owns one up in Barrie. He is one of our mentors. He's like family to us now because he's been an absolute blessing. And we met him in September. I walked into his restaurant. I'm like, hi, we're doing this. We're doing a silent auction. Can we have a gift card from you? I just said that. I pulled an Emily, and he's like, you know what? I'll do you one better. Let's have a meeting and we'll sit down. And he created this thing that ended up shooting off, and a lot of other businesses in Bradford did it. Mm-hmm. And he's like, let's do something together. You know, let's do $1 from this bowl, and this bowl. And I'll give you the proceeds. And that will be our partnership fundraiser because it's good for me and it's good for you.
For one day.
Yeah, for one day. And then it ended up changing later on.
Yeah.
So he started that. And because of the paper and everything like that, more businesses started reaching out. And he started that whole domino effect forever. And that still happens to this day.
Yes.
And yeah, that's part of the reason why we expanded up to Barrie was because of him. Because he's on the board for the Barrie Chamber. And he's an absolute blessing.
That's really cool.
Yeah, like he's been, and like we've met so many other businesses as well.
Yeah.
That are become so close, and a continued support, and even people like in the community. Like we met more people in our neighborhood. We met people in Bradford. We met even like, I remember there was people in Newmarket who knew our story that we didn't even know about, but how like words would spread. And our story was just told. And we were getting donations from London, England.
No
because
way.
our family member lived in Bradford. Yeah, no,
That's
it was crazy.
really cool.
We had stuff from the States too. It was absolutely amazing. And it was just to see it at that time. You're so young, you don't understand the scope of things. And you're just like, oh, this is so great. Like you're so grateful and appreciative and everything for it. But now looking back as an adult, living through the 6 years of A Bradford Christmas, you're just like, she had no idea like the impact, right? Mm-hmm. I would say that's probably one of the biggest moments.
That's like the biggest moment Sarah and I always think about, even in the scope of our lives. That was one of the biggest moments of our lives.
And so can you just recreate your faces when you saw the check?
So I think I was holding it, you were holding it.
Yeah.
Taking it, I was like, I think I covered my mouth or you covered your mouth or something like that. And it was just screams.
Yeah.
Like our one friend, because we didn't think about like, oh, take a video. We didn't think of anything.
We didn't think about photographers or social media. Nothing.
So our one friend, she, thank goodness, she had like a landscape video on her cell phone and she like Facebook messaged it to us afterwards. And seeing it like from the audience point of view, it was insane. Like I think you fell over. You were like that. You kind of like fell over when you first saw it.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I remember my face was sore later that day from smiling so much. And I remember there was people that couldn't make it to the check presentation. So we called them after and we got to relive it all over again. Like that.
That's so
just
awesome.
Yeah. So there was that one, and then that same year, I don't know if you know Addictive Design.
Yes.
Mr. Mike and Mr. Tony. So we were supposed to pick up a silent auction item from them, right?
Yes. Was this December?
It was November.
It was November.
It was November.
Jeez.
I literally, like, it was November 7th or 5th or something. I remember it was in the beginning. It was a beautiful day for November. It was, like, so warm.
And can I add something to this?
Yeah.
So again, I think we were 15, 16 at this point. So we still didn't, we have one family car. So my mom and dad were out. They were running errands that day.
One time.
My mom drove us everywhere. So she was at like every event, every meeting we went to, she was there. But this one day, my dad and my mom were out. They had to go to an appointment. And so she wasn't there that one day. So we walked. And it's not a very far walk. So we just walked there and we're like, we're just going to pick up an item. And it was just like put in our bag. It wasn't going to be heavy. We're like, okay, this is fine. And I remember we went to the front door and it was locked. And then so we checked our email and he was like, oh, girls, we're around back. And so because we're at their parking lot.
And we saw Miss Natasha from the paper.
Yes.
Because she was going to be taking a picture of it and putting it in the paper. So we saw her and she's like, yeah, I'm here to take a picture. We're like, okay, this is kind of cool. And we're a little like skeptical. So we go around back and there's a whole bunch of people back there. We're like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Go ahead.
So there was people everywhere. And then I think it was either Mike or Tony.
It was Mr. Mike.
Mike came up to us and was like, hi, girls. So we contacted some of our friends and they'd all like to make a donation to your campaign. And we're like, oh my goodness. Like we didn't know what to say. And of course his friends were like, oh, you're friends. And their friends were like huge businesses in Bradford. So all these people like lined up. They were in a line next to each other and they gave us checks. And it was like, we're like, thank you so much. And we were like shaking everyone's hand. We met everybody. And Sarah could probably still tell you their names to this day. Because again, she has a memory of like, it's incredible. And, but we shook their hands and like, I was shaking. Because I don't even know if I shook someone's hand properly. But we were shaking. We were taking all of these checks and it was like huge. Like it was this huge lineup of people. And we were just taking these checks. And one of them was like a trucking company, Cortel Haulage. And they brought their trucks in the parking lot as well. So, and then there were like cars in there and trucks in there. There was another contracting company, Majestic Contracting. They donated, so their truck was there. And so it was just filled. This parking lot was, oh my goodness, that feeling. That was one of those feelings too. It wasn't like I don't know, that didn't make it in like I don't know how to say it. Like it wasn't in our campaign portfolio or whatever. Like it wasn't something that people know about. But that's one of those moments that it was just like an hour, I think. And that moment was something that like Sarah and I still talk about. Like it makes me just like, I was so happy. Like it was just pure happiness.
It was.
And it was like we were looking around like, all these people are here for us.
It's like one of those moments where you're just like, oh my goodness. And so there's a little thing. So Majestic Contracting, so Mr. Josh, one of the owners of it, we knew him and his wife a couple years ago. But like before that, because we did a fundraiser for their daughter for some like medical stuff. We did a garage sale and we gave them a check and it was absolutely amazing. And they were so happy. And it was like, we were so happy that we could give back and it was really great. And it was such a full circle, small world moment that he gave back to us.
That's really cool.
And I remember he walked up to us and I'm like, hi, Mr. Josh, how are you? And it was like, oh my goodness. It's so cool that we're talking about this because it's like we're reliving it all over again.
It does feel
like we don't talk about this stuff enough and it's just like we should because it's like it's those moments that really install why we do this, why we keep doing it.
Yeah. And I think you really feel like the impact and you have those full circle moments and you see like the community getting brought together because of what you're doing and wanting to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
There's so many full circle moments and those moments are so crazy. And the thing with full circle moments is I don't think you realize it in the moment.
No, you don't.
We never realize it in the moment because I didn't know at the time with this specific story with Majestic Contracting, it was like a great local business in Bradford. We didn't know that was, so we, like Sarah said, we did a fundraiser for his family years prior. We didn't know that like the business, we didn't know that was his business because we saw it all around Bradford. We saw it everywhere. Yeah. And we had no idea until that day when he gave us a check. It's like, oh, Sarah said like, hi, Mr. Josh. And I'm crying. I'm like, who's Josh? Like what's happening? And I'm like, so then Sarah knew. And then Sarah, that's when we found out, that's him. That's Majestic Contracting. And then we didn't find out until years after that when we saw them again around Bradford, and we didn't find out until years after, they said that like when we were able to do a little fundraiser for them years before, they when Mike called them from Addicted Design, they immediately said like, yeah, we're going to do this for them. But they said like they were in a position where they could help and they could do something. They said, yeah, we're going to do it. Like, absolutely. So it was something like we just found that out a few weeks ago too, that all of this, like we just found that out. So
funny.
It is so true. Like we just saw, we saw them, our mom saw them again, and they just got to talking, and it was like, oh yeah, your daughters, whatever. And then we got on this topic, and we just talked about this a few days ago, and that's what it was. So it was intentional for them. Like I thought, oh, maybe they didn't know it was us. Like maybe they just did. Maybe we just recognized Josh, and Josh was like, who are these two girls bothering? Like I don't know who these are. But he knew all along. Like he knew who we were when we met, knew who he was, and in that moment, it was like a full circle moment of like years later. We met again, and it was just community. That's like the one word that Sarah and I always say, and maybe people are sick of hearing us say it, but that's like the one word that it always comes back to for us is like community. Like every big moment, it was, that's what it centered around. Like with the 50,000 check, with this like community giving thing, with our tuning campaign, with everything, it's just always comes down to community and people coming together. And it's the best feeling.
Love that. Any surprise takeaways or lessons along the way?
I think the paperwork. The amount of paperwork. Because you're like, yeah, anybody could say that they want to have it be a charity. But like, we were like, and we did that. We did that ourselves. Yeah, let's become a charity. Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
That's so easy. We totally thought that was like a little easy thing. No. We like became a nonprofit first, and then we did the charity stuff, but we had to hire a lawyer. We met with him weekly for 3 hours every Tuesday.
Wow.
10 a.m. on the dot.
Yep.
Every Tuesday. We're still his clients, and he's Tross. Oh my gosh. He's an absolute godsend. He's amazing. And God bless him, because we did not know what we were doing. And there was a lot of lessons in there. And it was, of course, a lot of money too. Like both of our part-time jobs at that time helped pay for that. But it was so cool about all the different steps. Like we have bylaws that we have to adhere to. We have like a whole like constitution thing. We have, I say thing, I don't know the technical name. Emily will read all of our like rules and regs and everything, which is, I don't know how many pages. She just gives me the Cliff Notes. I'm like, just give me the summary of like what we actually really need to do, and you read all the fluff and all that stuff.
Yes.
That's our duo.
If our lawyer's watching this, we did read all the paperwork. But
read all the paperwork.
She didn't. I did. We're covered. We're good.
Yeah.
But it's true. Like there's a lot. But that's what we wanted to do too. Like when Sarah and I were talking about it.
We wanted to be official.
We wanted to, when we decided to make it like legitimate. We didn't decide that when we were 14. It took a few years. We're like, took a bit. But like when we were like, no, we want to make this official because we want to, like we said, transparency. And we wanted to make sure that what we did, it was transparent, and it was honest, really. And we know
honest, like professional.
It was
done
professional,
right.
And we want to make sure it was done right. That's like again what our parents always said: don't bother doing it if you're not doing it
right the first time.
So as a
There's so many catchphrases.
Yes.
I feel like I'm learning what they all are right now.
Yeah. And like we had an accountant too. Like we have a professional charity accountant. Both our lawyer and our accountant do charities. That's all they do every day, 24/7, 365. This is what they do is charities.
And so that was a huge learning curve for Sarah and I, is like to do things the right way. It's long and it's tedious, but that's the right way to do it. And that's what Sarah and I wanted to do. We wanted to do things the right way. That's the bottom line. We want to do things honest and right.
Yeah.
And so that's what we decided to do. And with that did come, yes, Sarah, a lot of paperwork. It was a lot of paperwork and a lot of logistics and a lot of meetings. And there's also a lot of like, to be quite frank, there's a lot of financing and money that comes with that also. But again, that was something that Sarah and I invested in because we really believed in our charity. And we still do. That's why we continue to invest in it. But yes, that was a big learning opportunity, was all the paperwork. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, Sarah.
And it's interesting when we tell people that, they're like, oh, it's not like a business license or whatever where you just pay a couple $100 and that's it. Nope. We input that all into CRA, and it took 7 months for approval. And that's quick turnaround. Usually it takes about a year. for them to even say yes.
That all comes back to like we had an excellent team. Like our
excellent
accounting team and our legal team worked hand in hand, and they were just incredible. But yeah, I mean, respectfully, the CRA gives you a colonoscopy. Like they look into everything.
Everything. We had to send them resumes of all of our board members.
Yeah,
background checks, everything.
It's a big undertaking.
Oh, definitely. It's so funny. Like you think like, oh, when you become registered, maybe CRA will have a bit of a personality, and when they email you, they'll add like pizzazz to their email. No, it just said you've been approved. That was it, and then in French, whichever that is.
And then whatever that is, and then we got it, and we're like, what is this? And we forwarded it to our lawyer, and he emailed it back to us, and he's like, you're a registered charity. And I think he used like a few emojis, which he never uses emojis. He's a very serious guy. But he was so wonderful, and he's like, you lawyer translated it for us. Yay.
This is so great. Yeah.
But that was also an amazing day for us, that like day. And I think Sarah and I got the email. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we got the notification, and then we somehow like hit it, like the notifications didn't pop up on anything on other devices, so that our parents didn't know, and we ended up telling them like that night, and we're like, we have news to tell you. We got an email.
We videotaped it too, didn't we?
I think we did, but I feel like it was like bad quality and like but I feel like we videotaped it somehow. We didn't want them to know, so it was like under a pillow or something. So I don't even know if the video's still out there. But that was also a really cool moment.
There's a lot of cool moments. There's even more that we can tell you all day.
And it's great that you have some of them on video too. Like,
definitely.
That you can go back, because like you're saying, like it's not until you really like relive them or look back that you realize like how big these moments are and how cool that you have like documented records and videos. And
it's really true. That's definitely.
And there's some bonus. Like key moments and even like key people who have like totally surprised us. Like we're not really surprised with some things because we're not the ones surprising people. Well, we surprise people. Usually we're not being surprised. Right? That's how that works. Yeah. And it was like, I remember, so Emily won that junior citizen award, and then I ended up being a recipient the year after. Our dad called us the back-to-back jacks. It's a baseball term. So that's what we ended up being.
That's what it is? It's a baseball term?
It's a baseball term. So, of course, it's still like, pandemic and stuff. So it was like, only a few people can watch you get it. I think I didn't end up going to receive it until like a couple months later. I think that's how that went. No, it was a year later. It was a year later. So I was 2020 and she was 2019. And MP Davidson, I remember I accepted it. And he's like, hey, can your sister come up here? And he came up Emily came up there. And he surprised us with a letter of recognition from the former prime minister.
That's so cool.
And we had no idea. We were absolutely shocked. I remember our parents' faces. They were like jaw to the floor. They were so surprised. We had some of our family with us at the time.
Yes. And again, it was like one of those moments where like we didn't know. We didn't plan for anything, but we had our one friend there, and we knew Sarah was going to get an award, and she's a photographer. We're like, can you take pictures of Sarah, like, just getting her award? Because we wanted to have something for Sarah. And then it ended up being this whole big thing. We're like, we're so glad that you're here, and that you took pictures of it. But it was crazy. And all the pictures that we have, my cheeks, because when I get excited, my whole face goes red. It's like,
I call her Rudolph.
It's on brand.
I call her Rudolph. It's great.
So every picture I'm in, my face is like pink. And my short little bob, my haircut, and then
she was growing out her bangs too.
It was a rough time, but it was like red, and oh my goodness, that was like another one of those like surprise moments. It was just it didn't feel real again.
It didn't feel real.
And where's that piece of paper now? I'm imagining it's like on your family mantle or something.
One of them is. So we got two, one on each. One is in my room, and then one is on like the family wall.
Like a mantle thing. That's the thing. Actually, is so funny because we have the junior citizen for me and Sarah, and the Prime Minister's recognition, and then we got an award in 2024 for a Barrie Chamber of Commerce Business Award. And
Women in Business.
We have these awards. Women in Business Awards, and we have these awards, and we don't have any place to put them. And like that's what we didn't think about
to humbly say that, because the thing is like we don't talk about the awards. We don't. Like our lawyer, when we were doing all that paperwork,
it's funny
to become a charity. He's like, yeah, do you guys have any awards or anything? Because we didn't mention anything because we don't brag about it.
And it's not what it's about for you either.
It's not what it's about. And we're like, yeah, we were telling him, and he's like, oh my goodness, please put that on your application because that's really important.
Like, we're sending this in next week. I think it'd be good if the CRA knows about this. And we're like, okay, sure, we'll do that.
Yeah, and then we have those booklets too that MP and MPPs will give you.
Yes.
We had a bunch
scrolls.
of those too. Yeah, the scrolls, that's what they're called.
But anyway, so we have these like awards and they're really pretty, and we didn't know like what to do because we didn't have any place to like put them. So that was like kind of a joke in our family too, is like, you get one more, we're gonna have to build a shelf, guys. Like, what are we supposed to do with these? So now we have like a little hutch in our house, and we have like some of our awards there, and then but yeah, it's
like, even our
funny.
parents, like, they have a couple things from their jobs and even like their past like stuff in school or whatever. So I said to them as a joke, I'm like, we should just make an award wall. And they're like, that's funny. But yeah, it's kind of like a cool collection of everything and all the top moments in our life, right? Yeah,
Love that.
Really cool.
It's all of those, and then my participation medal at the talent show. That's
That rounds out the collection.
Yeah, guys, look, I worked really hard on that. It was actually a point. This has nothing to do with the charity, but like, they were like, you don't have a talent to present. I think you should be the host. And I was like, I'll be the host. And it was basically them saying, please, Lord, don't sing anymore. Just like be the host. And then I got a participation medal. So who's the real winner here? I was, in case anyone's watching that from that talent show, I won.
See, competitive.
No kidding. Okay. How do you balance charity work with the rest of your lives?
Oh, I love that question because I ask every business owner that. And I feel like I'm still finding the balance because it's, at the end of the day, it's hard to balance it all because it all bleeds into each other. But what we have kind of gone into now, because now we both have jobs, like before we didn't. Now we both have jobs and I get up earlier, so I'll get up early and go to work and stuff like that. And then usually at break or lunch, or if we ever have like a little time where we like have a break or something, then I'll work on stuff. And Emily's kind of the same thing. And then once we get home, Emily gets home after me. So she gets home about like, what, 5:36?
Yeah, because Sarah starts at 6:30. It's early. And then she ends at 3. And then I start at 9 and at 5. So we kind of we work the same amount of hours, but we end at different times. Yeah. So like Sarah said, like on our lunches, we both do work. So like we answer messages or post. Sarah will be posting on her lunch. And I answer emails, or I schedule phone calls sometimes during lunch too. And then so we do those kind of balance things. But then also when we go home, like when we're both home, that's when we have like our debrief of like, okay, well, this is everything that happened. These are the messages I got, the emails that I got. This is everything that we're doing right now. Yeah. And then, so that's what we work on
stuff. Like Emily does emails. I do social media. So we'll literally sit in our living room where our mom is like making dinner, and we'll be like, okay, what's the update today? Like, what's going on? We'll go over events that we're having, any like meetings that we're having soon, any like messages. Yeah. Yep. Like you said, emails, phone calls, any like last minute things that have to be fixed or stuff that we need to do the next day, the next week, due dates, all that stuff, applications. And that's what's starting to work now. We're getting in our groove of getting used to that. And that's kind of how we balance it in a way. Sometimes it'll get outweighed if we're like both really tired and we just need to, take a nap, which I'm end up doing sometimes.
Yes, but then like we get back into it.
Yeah, weekends are a little bit different too.
I don't think like something can drain you if it fills you up, right? And like our charity is something that fills us up huge. Like,
very well said.
Thank you.
That was such a great phrase. That's your phrase now.
Lock it in, guys. Trademark it. You heard it here first. But doing our charity, like we're really lucky that we get to do something that fills us up so much.
Yes.
That fills us with so much like we said, gratitude and community and everything. We're really lucky that we have that. So when we have to work on it, it's not like, oh God, there's another email. It's like, oh my God, someone emailed us. This is so great. Like it really is. It's just a pleasure. Like it's such a pleasure to be able to do it, that even though we have to work around schedules and it can be long days, it's something that we're just so grateful that people let us do.
Yeah. It's such an honor and a privilege, honestly.
It is, definitely.
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, so this is my next question. And I'm going to ask each of you individually.
Oh, okay.
Sarah, if you weren't doing this together with your sister, would you be doing it?
I feel like I can't imagine doing it without Emily, because she's my best friend. She's my other half. Her strengths are my weakness. My weakness are her strengths. I feel like I would still be giving back to the community in some sort of way and volunteering. But running a full-fledged charity without, Emily, I don't know if it would be the same. I don't know if I could do it without you, Emily. Not to make you tear up, but, I love you.
Yeah, where are all these compliments coming from? I'm not used to this. Oh, jeez. I'm used to being bullied far more than this. I don't know.
It's you. Oh, my God. Emily's such a younger sibling.
So I'm going to cut to you, Emily. Same question. Would you still be doing this if you weren't doing it with your sister?
There's only one right answer.
It's like I'm feeling pressured. No, I don't think I would. Like what Sarah said, though, I think I'd still do something. Like I'd do something with my would have continued my business or something. But it would never have been the same. Like, it definitely wouldn't have been the same because Sarah and I balance each other out so well. Yeah. Like, we're what made it. Like, that's the whole, like, our dynamic, our personalities, like, we're what made it. Like, for that, we told you the story about meeting Mr. Salim, the local business owner. That was, like, seriously, I was kind of a bold one. I would go in and I would talk to people. But that day, I was just, I don't know what it was. I wasn't feeling it. I was like, no. Like, I can't talk to anyone else more today. Like, we've already had, it's been a long day. And Sarah was like, okay, but this one more. Like, we're going to talk to this guy. Let's just ask him. If he says no, we'll just ask him. We'll leave. It'd be fine. Let's just ask. And I was like, okay, let's go in. Let's ask. And then Sarah asked it, and look at it now. Like, 5 years later, I couldn't imagine what it'd be without him, right? Or there's some days maybe where Sarah is like, her battery's drained. Or Sarah thinks, I don't know if we should do this. I don't know if we should do that. And I'm like, let's just give it a try. Let's try it, right? Like Sarah said, the strengths and weaknesses, we just balance each other out so well. And I've seen that over and over again. Is like when one person's leaning one way, we kind of pull each other back to center. Yep. And I think that's why it works. And then I definitely think that's why so much of it works foundationally. It's why it works. And then also it's just like our dynamic as well, like as siblings, as sisters. We're very honest with each other, which I don't think I could be this honest with anybody else, is saying like, you know what? No, Sarah, that's the worst idea you've ever had. Let's use our brain before we say things next time.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't say that to anybody else. And Sarah couldn't say it to me. It's like, Emily, your mouth is too big. You shouldn't say things sometimes. Like, we can't say that with anybody else, but we can say that with each other. We can be honest and vulnerable with each other.
We're very brutally honest. Yeah. And we'll tell each other off, but then we'll love each other up, And like, we'll have our moments, of course, for sisters. We'll have our tit for tats, and we need our separation. We need our time and go in our own rooms and have a little time out. We need to be able to do that. And thankfully we're adults, and I drive, you don't drive. And, sometimes I can just leave the house and do my own thing. But then at the same time, we can come back and have that respect about each other and that love for each other still too. And yeah, like we'll go to events together, networking events. And sometimes like my social battery, if you say, like, will be a lot shorter than Emily's is. So I'll end up just talking to a couple people when Emily's like gallivanting around and having a whole bunch of fun with a bunch of other people.
It's like one of us is like an Energizer bunny. Just like,
that's true.
We're a little extra powered up one day.
And one's like the Michelin Man,
Yeah, just need to sit for a minute.
You just need to sit for a minute.
So it's really great.
Yeah, I love it.
We feed off each other well.
Without her. It's funny, after events, like we kind of like, there's a certain playlist that we'll play, like pump up music before the event.
Really?
Yeah. And we'll talk about the event. We'll do the whole thing. After the event, we're like, there's no talking in the car. We're blasting, jamming out to music. It's me on the highway driving, and that's it. We don't talk about it until the next day.
It's true. Like, and our events. Like, when we go to networking events, it's different. There's no pressure or whatever. Yeah. But for our events, like for bowling last year, I remember on the way there, it was Club Can't Handle Us, Low. We were, like, getting down. We're, like, pump up music. We just needed to, like, get ready. Like, we were, And then on the way back, I think it was, like, it was just Alan Jackson, like Tim McGraw, Keith Whitley. Like, we were just listening to country music on the way back, like lulling us down because it was like the adrenaline, right?
I think I played the song Closing Time as a joke in the car. I'm like, closing time.
Yeah.
That one was good. Yeah. That's a day for us. Yeah, it's good.
I love it. I was gonna ask you like what your dynamic is like in like working together as sisters and how your strengths and weaknesses balance each other out. But you went there, like you already answered.
Oh, that's so good. That's great. We're known as a dynamic duo, which is kind of funny. That's caught on now.
So wait, do you have other siblings? I feel like you guys are the only ones.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
After my parents had Emily, they're like, yeah, she's enough. We're good. We're not going to have any more.
True. Yeah. I was a lot. It was funny because we watched like in the home movies or whatever, which I love that we had that.
At home movies, not in the home.
Home movies.
Oh, I thought you said in the home.
I might have said that. But we watched the home movies and and they'll just see like Sarah was like such a perfect baby, and she really was.
Well,
like,
thank you.
She, oh my goodness, she was so sweet, and she was so good with me, like in the videos. So there was this one video, and I love it. And my mom was out, so my dad was like watching us, and he loved that camcorder, so he was always videotaping us. So he's watching us, and Sarah's like playing on the ground with her toys, and she's so angelic.
Peaceful.
And then she's like, panning over to me, and I was like climbing on the dining room chair to stay on top of the table, right? And he was like, no, Emily, come down. So he put the camcorder down, he picked me up, put me down. And then he was like focusing, and then Sarah was making noise, and he goes, "Oh, hey, Sarah," and "Hey, Sarah, what are you doing, Sarah?" And she's like playing with her kitchen toys. And then it pans back to me, and I somehow got up on the chair and now was on the table. And he was like, "No!" And he dropped the camcorder, and then he ran out, and that was the end of the video. And but that was a perfect explanation of our dynamic as children. And then to this day, it's still like that. I'm a bit more reserved. I'm not on tables anymore, Mom. Don't worry. But
although we're slightly concerned that might happen, you know.
but like that's still our dynamic, because that one of us is just, you know, we can be polar opposites sometimes, but that's kind of why it works.
And then sometimes we'll switch too. Like I'll be the very extroverted, let's do this. Mm-hmm. I gotta go talk to this person and make this business deal or whatever and get sponsorship and be this whatever. And Emily would be like, I'm done. I'm staying in the car. I need a nap. Emily naps so much. That's another really funny
Secret
thing.
to success.
Yeah.
Naps.
So like on the way to meetings or even coming back from them, Emily she can nap anywhere.
I can.
In a drop
You're a
of
car
hat.
napper.
I can.
Anywhere she can nap. There is so many photos in my camera roll from last summer of her passed out, mouth open, catching flies.
I was gonna ask, is her mouth like
like just like out.
I'm not a cute napper.
No, she's not.
I'm not a cute napper.
She's snoring. I have so many pictures. My camera roll in the summer was like business stuff, sunsets, and Emily out. And it's like I remember I would post on stories about that, and it just got so many views because it'd be like relatable. And it was just
that's real.
Her thing. And it would be like I'll be just talking to her. I'm like, oh, let's do this event. Let's debrief about the meeting or whatever, and look over, and she's passed out. That's it.
Some people are passenger princess. I'm sleeping beauty. That's me, guys. So
that's your princess. You're sleeping beauty.
Little fun fact.
Love that. You're not Beauty and the Beast. You're what's her name? Belle?
Belle, yes.
You're not Belle. You're Aurora.
Yeah.
I have to remember my princesses' names.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we used to be so obsessed with those two.
Yeah.
I feel you on that.
Yeah. I used to love Belle because she loved to read books. And we're both brunette. So, of course, when you're a kid, you always pick the one that looks most like you.
You're like, oh, the blonde, the brunette.
Yeah, the one that had, like, long brown hair. Yeah, that's totally me. For sure. What was yours? Tinkerbell? Oh, yeah. Emily was a sassy child.
That's cute.
She has sass now, too.
Both of you.
Yeah, and she used to, like, give the sass, and she was Tinkerbell one year. And I was Belle, too. We had those, like, Costco costumes.
Oh, yeah.
The ones that were really scratchy and itchy. Mm-hmm. And they never make them for Canadian Halloweens.
Yeah, they're not like snowsuit
paper thin.
Proof.
No.
Yeah, so we had snow pants under these dresses with our winter jackets over it.
Been there.
Yeah. Love those Halloweens.
How can people get involved?
Well, best way to get involved, if you'd like, we have so many fundraising events coming up. So we have like the events for Bowling Palooza. We have our bingo night coming up. Those are the best ways to get involved. We love having like people together, and so we love seeing people come out to our events. Those are obviously always our favorite. So please come out to events if you can. That would be amazing to see you there. And our ticket prices are all around the $30 range. So for bowling, it's $35. For bingo, it's around $30. So we try to keep it pretty inexpensive too. And then also, if you're able to donate, please feel free to donate. Every donation really makes a difference. That's something we've always really tried to encourage as well with our charity. Is it okay if I talk about this a little bit?
Yeah.
In 2020, I think we briefly mentioned this, but we had something called like the Toonie campaign, which was kind of like a little bit of a twist on like a regular donation jar. We're Canadian, Toonie. So we saw a Toonie campaign, and there was like a dozen businesses around Bradford, I guess, that hosted a Toonie campaign. And it was just a jar with a flyer, and it was just some people collecting Toonies and Loonies or whichever. And we ended up raising, I think it was like a few $1,000s just off of Toonies and Loonies and quarters. Like that was just, again, that was the community. People that donated, it was spare change, but it made a huge difference. Like all of these little donations really do add up.
Everything counts.
I think like so many people think like they want to donate to a charity, but they never think it's like enough. Well, I only have like $10 or only have like 100 or whatever. It is enough. Like it is so more than enough. Like even now,
you never know. Yeah.
Donating $10, right?
Yeah.
Right now, one of our charities, Glowing Hearts, are doing a Hygiene for Heroes campaign. So they're collecting hygiene items for some of their youth. And so like, let's say you donate $10, $5 to Glowing Hearts, $5 to Margaret Bain. Glowing Hearts, they're able to buy deodorant or a toothbrush set or like hygiene products for a child. Margaret Bain, part of what they do that isn't funded at all by the government is they provide, so much isn't funded, but one of them is like food. So they make all of their own like fresh food for all the residents and their families. So $5, that's able to buy fresh produce for a family, right? So it really does make a huge difference. And Sarah and I personally feel it every time someone donates. We personally just feel gratitude for that donation. Like in 2020, we also love this story too. We like a lot of stories. In 2020, we announced our Toonie campaign. And I got a message on Facebook, and it was a woman, and she said, I'm cleaning up my mom's house. Do you guys accept pennies too? And at this time, pennies weren't really like, they were out of circulation, but we're like, we'll accept pennies. Because we called the bank first, and we're like, you guys, we can do pennies, right? And they're like, you can, but they have to be rolled. And we're like, okay. So I was like, yeah, we'll accept pennies. And we thought it was like a penny collection. So she probably had like a few hundred pennies or whatever. We're like, that's fine. Like, we can roll a few hundred pennies. She dropped it off. Such a wonderful woman. It was 4,000 pennies. And we were like, oh, and I was like, oh, it's pennies. I couldn't carry it. I had to carry my dad to carry it. He goes, what's in this? It's just pure copper, right? So anyways, he brought it in, and it was like $40 in pennies, and we rolled it all on our dining room table.
Like little soldiers on our dining room table.
Yeah, it was smelled like copper for a few days.
The film on the table was real thick.
And that was like an incredible memory and an incredible show of like community. Like she saw those pennies and was like, these couple girls could use it. And it would end up being $40, which is incredible. Like that was amazing. And it was a great story. And it was a great part of community that like when someone thinks of, oh, I have extra couple dollars, who can I donate this to? And they think of you. Like that's amazing.
It's a big deal.
It's really special.
It is really so special when you're the first thought on someone's mind in any context is special. But when someone thinks of like when they're thinking of like a charity to donate to, or like, oh, I have a few extra dollars, or oh, I have my business, I could have this gift card, I could donate it to somebody. When they think about you, that is such a blessing. Like Sarah and I are so grateful for people who donate anything to us because that means like you thought of us, right? And that's really incredible.
It touches us every time.
It really does.
Like it touches our hearts. Yeah, it's so important. It's so amazing. And it's very like underrated because everybody's like, oh, they think about the $100, $500, $1,000. And we're like, no, we want like the toonies and the loonies, the quarters, the nickels.
Everything adds up to the same impact. It all matters.
It all really does matter. Yeah.
It really does.
What's your dream for the future of A Bradford Christmas?
One of the things, so part of our mission is, so as a charitable foundation, fundraisers for registered charities all across Canada, and we try to, highlight these charities and help them with funding. But our other mission, kind of not other, but including in that, is we also want to inspire younger people to get involved in community and in work. And I think that young people, there's kind of a stigma to young people of like, they don't want to work, they don't want to do anything, they're lazy, they're this, they're that, they're uneducated, they're whatever. And I get it. And I know that it can seem like that. Like I know sometimes it felt like that maybe even when we were younger. But there's so many young people, like there's so many kids like us, like younger than us, teenagers, younger than teenagers, that do want to do stuff, that do want to get involved, that want to work or want to make something or want to do good. And maybe they don't have direction to it, or maybe no one wants to hire them right now or whichever. So a big thing for Sarah and I that we've always wanted to do was really help encourage young people to just get involved in something, get involved in community. That's how Sarah and I started. Like, we didn't start a charity to start it. We had no idea we were going to do this. We just got involved in the community. I got involved with business. Sarah got involved in volunteering. And from that, we have so many life experiences. We are where we are now because we got involved in community at a young age.
Yeah.
So we have volunteering programs. And then on top of that, we try to do more. So like with someone like, for example, we had like a teen in our volunteer program, and they're really good at social media. So we're like, incredible. we need help with social, like, let's do social media then. So for our events, we give her the phone and she's like, okay, you do social media for this event or something, right? And so that's what we're going to do with her this year. Like, she's going to do social media for some of our events. And so we want to build skills and build, like, learning into youth and be a part of, we want A Bradford Christmas to be seen on a resume as something with a huge standard, because we do have that. So I think one of our big goals is we want to keep expanding our charity into the way we give. We started out in Bradford, we're in Barrie and Newmarket, and we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So we want to expand our geographical giving, how much we're able to give in terms of, like, how much we can support a charity. Keep building our community, always, for sure. We always want to build our community. Expand from where we started from, but also Sarah and I, we've always really wanted to be able to bring youth along with us, to be able to make sure that we can support them and bring them along and continue to help support, really, help make opportunities for young people.
I love that. And that's a perfect segue into what my final question is, which was, what advice would you give to other young people who want to get involved in their communities and maybe don't know where to start?
Honestly,
Call you.
Yes.
If, reach out.
If you want to, though, honestly, you can. Like, you can email us or message us, because, like, we wanted to volunteer and stuff. We didn't know where to, or if we could, or how old we had to be. So we know that. We know so many businesses, and not businesses, but charities you can volunteer for. If you are a young person and you are thinking, like, oh, I kind of want to volunteer for this, or I want to have work experience in this specific field so that I can try to get into this field, email us, call us, message us, let us know. And, throughout our charity, we've met so many amazing businesses that also do want to have young people, that want to help people and nourish them and guide them and teach them. So yes, definitely reach out to us. Additionally to that, if you want to do something on your own, just ask. Everything that we've started, I don't even know, there was some volunteering that Sarah did that wasn't even a position for volunteering. She kind of just said, she kind of just made it up, and she was like good at this one thing. And she goes, well, I had this one thing, like, do you guys need help for it? It was like, yeah, we could have help for it. And so she kind of made her own thing. So bottom line, the answer is already no if you don't ask.
That's another one of our mom's catchphrases.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Shut up, Mom. It's already no if you don't ask. So for any young person, if you want to do anything, get involved in community, maybe it's work, maybe it's school, anything in your life, it's already no if you don't ask. So as long as the question's respectful, ask it with confidence.
Absolutely. And also, there's another big lesson that we've learned too, is learn from others and listen to others who have been in the business for a while. Mm-hmm. Like, whether it's your mentors or other business colleagues or people in the industry, listen to them. That's like, you can listen to them as much as you can. And sometimes, sometimes it doesn't work out. But sometimes when people have your best interests, like family, friends, whatever, sometimes they can see things that you don't see. Right. And it's to keep going and not listen to all the noise and to all the fluff. Just always just keep going at it. And if you want to do something, do it.
Yes.
Life is short. Life is very short, and you only live once, and just keep going.
It's definitely true.
That.
And I'll kind of something to add on top of that too, Sarah.
Yeah.
Is I think people think, like, in order to be in something or be good at something, you have to be surrounded by people who always know what they're doing. And I will say, now we are surrounded by intelligent people that do know what they're doing, and they're so amazing for us. When we started, we were surrounded by people who had no idea what we were doing. Like, we didn't know. Our parents are not in this field at all. They didn't know. Our family didn't know. Friends didn't know. Like, no one around us knew what the heck we were doing and what we were getting into. Nope. But we were surrounded by people that supported us. Yeah. And that's huge. Like, if you're starting something, you don't have to be in a room or in a place of people that know what they're doing, or surrounded people that know what you're doing. You have to just be in a room or a place surrounded by people who want the best for you. And that is what we felt the last 6 years with, of course, in our family and in our close relationships, but also in our community. Like, that feeling of, like, these people, they want the best. And that's an incredible, it's like a hug. That's an incredible feeling. So I guess those are our biggest things is also, in addition to what we said before, is that just surround yourself with people that want the best for you.
Yeah. Those are some great takeaways.
Thank you.
Any closing thoughts or remarks or anything you want to leave us with?
Don't think I have anything, but thank you so much for having us on.
Thank you.
This is so great.
This has been great. And I love hearing all the stories. You know, I've seen you girls out in the community and doing your thing for a couple of years, but being able to dig a little bit deeper into it and hear your stories and everything that you've learned and that you're doing is really cool. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
So
My
cool.
pleasure.